Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back again in the MCQ series of most probable question of GPAT, NIPER, and obviously RRB 2026, which is an upcoming exam. I think it is on March 2026. So, so Uday this side, and I'm going to discuss the MCQ related to organic chemistry. So we will start from the basics of the organic chemistry that we will proceed from general organic chemistry, some basic concept of the general organic chemistry. So for organic chemistry, some people uh, see like organic chemistry is just like a rocket science, but it is not. Organic chemistry is an interesting topic. If you understand the basics of this subject, you will get develop some interest in that subject. Okay, so without wasting the time, uh, um, let's move forward and begin the MCQ series. So here's the first question. Organic chemistry generally deals with the study of all elements, carbon-containing compounds, only hydrocarbons, only biomolecules. So organic chemistry generally deals with the carbon and its carbon-containing compounds. So here one can be confused with only hydrocarbon and carbon-containing compounds. But here is the most appropriate answer is carbon-containing compounds because only hydrocarbon is not appropriate answer or most appropriate or most correct answer. So here the organic chemistry deals with the study of carbon and its related compounds. Okay, so move on to the next one. What is the atomic number of the carbon? I think all of you know about this. What is the atomic number of the carbon? The basically there is two concepts. I think you all know about this. One is atomic number and other one is mass number. So the atomic number is the number of proton. It represents the number of proton. The mass number represents the number of proton plus number of neutron in the cells. Okay, in any atom. Uh, you might have seen this representation C612. So here 6 is the atomic number An and 12 is the mass number. Okay, so atomic number of carbon is 6. That also you can say that the total number of proton in the carbon atom is 6. So let's move on to the next question. What is the valency of the carbon system? So for valency, I think you all know the concept of filling the orbitals. That is like that no, carbon has 6 electrons. So for S shell it is 1s2, then 2s2, then 2p, 2p2. So basically p orbitals have you can fill 6 electrons in the p orbitals. So here four electrons are not filled, or you can say that two orbitals are vacant in the p orbital. So the valency of the carbon atom is 4. Because of this valency, we generally call it tetravalency. Carbon has tetravalency. Sometimes question will come like this: what is the valency of the carbon? Tetravalency will be there in your MCQ option. So here the correct answer will be the tetravalency. Because of this tetravalency, the carbon has tetrahedral structure. Like in methane, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4. That is tetrahedral structure of the carbon. Okay. So this structure is mainly because of the valency of the carbon atom. Also, due to this valency, carbon has formed multiple bonds uh, with other compounds. and has tetrahedral shape. Okay, so here the correct answer is the valency of the carbon is 4. Let's move on to the this question, electronic configuration of the carbon. As I told just now that carbon has 6 electrons. Okay, so we have to fill like this: 1s2, 2s2, and 2p2. So here in K shell you will find 2 electrons, and in L shell 2 plus 2, 4 electrons. Okay, so the configuration of the carbon is 2 comma 4. So the correct answer is B, that is 2 comma 4. Okay, let's move further. Tetravalency of carbon result in which type of geometric? Linear? No. Trigonal pillar? No. Tetrahedral? Yes, it is the correct answer. Tetrahedral. Carbon has tetravalency. Due to this tetravalency, carbon has tetrahedral structure. Okay, basically linear geometry is due to sp hybridization. In case of C triple bond C, you will find linear geometry. In trigonal pillar chemistry, in sp2 hybridization, C double bond C, and tetrahedral chemistry, tetrahedral geometry, you will find in sp3 related compounds. We will discuss this later in the hybridization part of MCQ, where I will tell you the geometry, bond angle, bond length, all these concepts. Here we are discussing about the general parts of organic chemistry, so we will discuss more about carbon and its anatomy, you can say that. Okay, so the next question is property responsible for chain formation in carbon is hybridization, catenation, electronegativity, and isomerism. Hybridization, yes, carbon has this property, but it is not related to the chain formation and other things. Electronegativity, carbon is generally considered as electropositive atom, not electronegative. Isomerism, no. Catenation, yes. Catenation is basically a property of carbon that it may form bonds with the same with itself to form a long chains compound, just such as heptane, octane, hexane. सो कार्बन अपने ही तरह के एटम के साथ बॉन्ड बनाता है, मतलब अपनी ही दूसरे एटम के साथ बॉन्ड बनाता है और बॉन्ड बना करके लॉन्ग चेन्स फॉर्म करता है. इस प्रॉपर्टी को हम लोग कैटेनेशन कहते हैं. कैटेनेशन कहते हैं. ओके, दिस इज द बेसिक क्वेश्चन. आई थिंक यू ऑल नो which is aliphatic compound. Yes, now for this you have to learn about the classification of the of the organic compound. Sorry. Okay, so this is the important concept, and from this concept you will see question in many of the competitive exam, and in NIPER you might see in your NIPER exam too in with this concept. Okay, so I will tell you the classification of organic compound. Just revise it. Okay, so generally organic compounds are basically of two types. Sorry. So basically organic compounds are of two types. Number one is aliphatic. Number two is closed chain. Closed chain. So aliphatic, you call it acyclic also. Okay, and closed chain cyclic. Yeah. So aliphatic we further divided into two parts. One is saturated and another is unsaturated. Saturated generally contains single bond or sigma bond. Unsaturated contains double bond and triple bond in their structure. Okay. Another is closed chain or cyclic compound. Wait. Another is closed chain and cyclic compound. These are further divided into two types. One is homocyclic and another is heterocyclic. So in homocyclic compounds, there are further division of two types. First one is cyclic. In homocyclic, there are further division of two types. One is alicyclic and another is aromatic. ठीक है. For alicyclic, there is no conjugation present in the structure. इसमें कोई भी conjugation नहीं present होगा. It is generally structure like pentane, hexane, heptane. Closed ring structure होगा जिसमें कोई भी conjugation नहीं होगा. Generally ऐसा होगा. Aromatic systems इसमें benzenoid systems आते हैं और non-benzenoid systems आते हैं. Benzenoid systems, these contain benzene ring in their structure. Non-benzenoid system, these are aromatic in nature but does not have benzene like structure. Okay. इसका बहुत ही कॉमन एग्जांपल है एजुलिन, जो कि ये क्वेश्चन बहुत बार कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में पूछा जा चुका है. सो एजुलिन इज द पार्ट ऑफ नॉन बेंजोनॉइड सिस्टम. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दिस थिंग. Now the second division of the cyclic compound is heterocyclic compound. Okay, heterocyclic compounds are also of two types. Number one is alicyclic, number second is aromatic. So alicyclic compounds are those compounds which contains any heteroatom not in but they are not aromatic. They contain only saturated single bond in their structure like this. This is known as epoxy ethane. Okay. And aromatic heterocyclic compounds are those compounds which are aromatic in nature but can have and contain one heteroatom in their structure, just like pyrrole, thiophene, or furan, pyridine. These are aromatic heterocyclic compounds. So this is the classification of the organic compound. So you will have to write in one fair note and must revise before going uh, to the exam. Okay, this is the important part. That's why I am telling you. So the question number 7 is related to that classification, which is an aliphatic compound. So benzene is an aliphatic compound. No. हेक्सेन छोड़ देते हैं. पायरिडीन हमारा हाइड्रोसाइक्लिक कंपाउंड है जिसमें नाइट्रोजन एटम प्रेजेंट होता है. थायोफीन भी हमारा हाइड्रोसाइक्लिक कंपाउंड है जिसमें सल्फर एटम प्रेजेंट होता है. हेक्सेन ही हमारा एलिफेटिक कंपाउंड होता है. जनरली एलिफेटिक कंपाउंड आर दोज कंपाउंड विच आर कनेक्टेड together via single bond, and hexane that connected via the these are saturated compound. Okay, that is aliphatic, also connected by the single bond. Let's move on to the next part. Closed chain compounds. Closed chain compounds को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? Closed है, chain है. अगर chain closed हुई तो हम उसको cyclic compound कहेंगे. तो acyclic no. Open chain जैसा कुछ चीज़ होता नहीं है. Cyclic yes. Unsaturated no. तो यहाँ पे cyclic is the right answer. Let's move on to the second. Next question. Which is saturated hydrocarbon? So what do I mean by saturated? The compound which contains only sigma bond or single bond in its structure, it is known as saturated hydrocarbons. So ethene, no, it contains double bond. Ethyne, it contains triple bond. Ethane, single bond. Benzene is an aromatic compound. Okay, so it is not saturated hydrocarbon. So correct answer is here is C, ethane. Uh, let's move on to the next. General formula of alkane. This is also an important part. Uh, यहाँ से you can see questions in your exams. So I will tell you the general formulas of some compound. Please note down that. So for alkane, it is CnH2n plus 2, where n is the number of atoms present in the following structure. Number second is alkene. It is CnH2n. That is alkyne. That is CnH2n minus 2. This is important for you. Just recognize it. Okay. This is basic organic chemistry. So, what is the question? General formula of alkane is. So, this is for double bond compounds or for alkenes. This is for alkane. This is the right answer. This is for alkynes. CnHCnHn. No, it is not any kind of formula. Okay. So basically, here the correct answer is C. Okay. Let's move forward. Which compound contains triple bond? Ethane. Ethane is saturated compound, generally contains single bond. Ethene is double bond. Ethyne contains triple bond. Propane is also a saturated compound that contains three carbon atoms in their structure. So here the correct answer is C. It is ethyne, homocyclic compound. Homocyclic compound, as I told earlier, that compound that contains only carbon in their structure. Okay. And uh, also only carbon in their structure. There is no heteroatoms. So only heteroatoms? No, it doesn't contain any kind of heteroatoms. It is if it contains heteroatom, it is known as heterocyclic compounds, not homocyclic compounds. Only carbon atoms? Yes, this is the right. Metal atoms? No. No ring? No. It is cyclic, so it must contain ring. So there is no concept of no ring. Okay. So the correct answer here is B, only carbon atom. Let's move on to the second. What is a heterocyclic compound? What is a heterocyclic compound? इसमें से हमें पहचानना है, आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि कौन सा कंपाउंड हेटेरोसाइक्लिक है. So cyclohexane का स्ट्रक्चर वर्क करेंगे. This is the structure. In this structure, there is no heteroatom. So this is not a heterocyclic compound. Next one, benzene. Benzene is aromatic system which also doesn't contain any kind of heteroatom. So this is also not correct answer. Next is pyrrole. Yes, pyrrole is an aromatic system and it contains nitrogen as a heteroatom. So it is a heterocyclic compound. Also it appears in the cyclic form, so it is a heterocyclic compound. Okay, this one is correct. Answer naphthalene. What is naphthalene? Naphthalene is generally two fused benzene ring, which is also an aromatic in nature. Okay, so the correct answer here is C, pyrrole. Huckel rule is related to. Huh. Huckel rule generally tells us about the aromaticity of the compound, whether the compound is aromatic or not. So basically, with the compound which follow the concept like 4n plus 2 is equals to 5 electrons. If a compound satisfies this equation, then it said to be uh, aromatic compound immediately. This is the criteria. Some other criteria is also there that compound should be planar, cyclic, planar, and it contain conjugated double bonds. These are also criteria, but from this only you can easily found that the compound is aromatic or not. So for that, I will tell you by taking one example, one simplest example of benzene. So in benzene, there is total number of 5 electrons, 5 bonds is 3, and the total number of 5 electrons is 6. Okay, so by putting these values in the equation, 4n plus 2 is equals to 5 electrons, where n is नॉन इंटीजर मतलब ना तो ये डेसिमल्स में आना चाहिए, ना ये इंटीजर या फ्रैक्शंस में आना चाहिए, ना ही इसकी वैल्यू माइनस में होनी चाहिए. दैट इज n. Okay, you will have to check that n will be the non-integer in nature. It is a whole number. So by here you can check 4n plus 2 is equals to 6. So here you can get n is equals to 1, that is whole number. Okay, so by this you can easily say that benzene is an aromatic compound. So it is basically related to the Huckel rule that tells about the aromaticity of any compound or chemical structure. Now move on to the next questions. Benzene is classified as alicyclic compound, benzenoid aromatic compound, heterocyclic compound, or non-aromatic compound. So benzene is not a alicyclic compound. Okay, the most appropriate answer is benzenoid aromatic compound. Benzene contains benzene ring that is aromatic in nature too. It is not heterocyclic. It doesn't contain any heteroatom, so heterocyclic doesn't make any sense in this type of questions. So only benzenoid aromatic compound is the right option. So let's move on to the next question. Azulene. See, ये मैंने कहा था कि azulene से क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है. You will see azulene question once in your lifetime. I will bet on this. Okay, azulene कैसे? एजुलिन मैंने बताया था ना कि एक 7 मेंबर की रिंग होगी, वो फ्यूज होगी 5 मेंबर की रिंग में. ये हमारा होता है एजुलिन, जो कि हमारा नॉन बेंजीनोइड एरोमेटिक रिंग सिस्टम के अंदर आता है. ओके, सो द करेक्ट आंसर हियर इज बी, दैट इज नॉन बेंजीनोइड एरोमेटिक सिस्टम. क्वेश्चन नंबर 17 इज साइक्लोहेक्सेन. ये स्ट्रक्चर होता है साइक्लोहेक्सेन का. एरोमेटिक A option में दिया गया aromatic, so it doesn't contain any pi bond. So aromatic होने का तो कोई ऑप्शन होता ही नहीं है. एलिसाइक्लिक वी विल चेक. हेट्रोसाइक्लिक, यहाँ पे कोई भी हेट्रोएटम नहीं प्रेजेंट है, तो it is not a aromatic compound, it is not a heterocyclic compound. Unsaturated, it doesn't contain any pi bond, so it is not unsaturated too. So cyclohexane is only alicyclic compound, that is cyclic compound. Okay, that is under homocyclic compounds. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Which heterocyclic contains sulfur? Okay, number one, we will check one by one. Furan contain oxygen. Pyridine is 6 membered ring. that contains nitrogen in its structure. Furan is five-membered ring that contains oxygen in its structure. Thiophene, yes, it contains sulfur and has a five-membered ring. Pyrrole is also a five-membered ring and it contains nitrogen in its structure. The important thing in this structure that they all are aromatic in nature. We will check the order of acidity and order of aromaticity in further lectures of this series. Okay, so the next question is mass number. As I told you that atomic number is the number of proton in any atom, and the mass number is the sum of the number of proton plus number of neutrons. Okay, so electrons and proton, no. Protons only, no. Neutrons, no. So answer D is correct. Protons and neutrons. Okay, which is not an organic compound. So yes, urea is an organic compound. Methane is an organic compound. CO2, despite of containing carbon in its structure, it is an inorganic compound, not an organic compound. So basically, you can see that not all carbon-containing compounds are organic in nature. Okay, you will have to think wisely before selecting any option. Okay, next question. What is the IUPAC name of this compound? This is a simple question. I think you all have knowledge about this type of questions. This is basic question. You have already studied that in your 11th, 10th standard. So just I will revise that. If there is single carbon in the structure, it is known as meth. Prefix is meth. Double carbon, eth. Third, prop. Four, bute. Fifth, pent. Sixth, hex. Seven, hept. Eight, oct. Nine, non. And 10, dec. That is enough for you for the GPAT level only. So here you can see there are three carbons. So we will name as pro and all are in saturated. So if it is saturated, that means it contains only single bond. The suffix "ane" is written at the last. So propane is the right answer. See, in this question, you will find that there is two number of carbons. So it and also here is double bond. Unsaturated, but it contains double bond. So for double bond, we will write "ene" in the suffix. So 18 is the right answer. Next question. In this structure, you will find two carbon atoms. So it and also there is a triple bond. Sorry. So for that, you will have to add "ine" as a suffix. So this is the basic things, but you have to know these type of basic things to solve other complex IUPAC structures. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Correct IUPAC name of isobutane. Iso. The word iso suggests branching is there. Okay, so normal butane is not a correct answer. Neo suggests normal chain compound. 2-methyl propane, yes. So this is the structure and 2-methyl propane. This is the correct answer. There is a branching in this structure, so you can say that this is the most appropriate answer because in this you will find the longest chain is propane with methyl substituent. In case of dimethylethane, you can also find. Sorry, but here you can see that there is no longer chain. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Normal butane you can find. So this is not the correct answer. You will have to check for longest chain as well as with substituent. So here the longest chain is propane, which substitutes with methyl substituent. So the correct answer here is C, 2-methyl propane. Suffix used for alcohol. So L is used for aldehyde, on is used for ketone, ol, yes, it's for alcohol, oic acid is used for carboxylic acid. This is the basic things. You will have to just prepare one chart. If you have problem in this, you will have to prepare one chart and paste somewhere in your room or in your copy and try to learn the concepts. Okay. Next question is CH3COOH is named as. CH3COOH is the common, if there is COOH in any structure, this is sign of carboxylic acid, presence of carboxylic acid. So we will have to add oic acid as a substituent in that. Okay, so here 2 carbon is present or 2 carbon eighth, all are in all are in saturation, or single bond is present, so ethane plus oic acid. आपको पता होगा if there is 2 vowel, so we will have to eliminate one vowel, so we will not write ethane, E of ethane, so the name of ethanoic acid. So correct answer is B, ethanoic acid. Parent chain is selected on the basis of maximum substituent. No, it is not the correct answer. Maximum length, yes. You will have to check the maximum length to select any substituent. So in this case, if you find that 1, 2, 3, 4, the longest chain is this. So the parent chain is selected on the basis of maximum length of the where you will find the maximum length. You will select the parent chain according to that only. Okay, so here the parent chain is hexane, not butane. Okay, IUPAC name of toluene. Toluene is nothing but benzene containing a methyl substituent in it. So it is methyl benzene only. हाँ, अब आपको क्या करना है कि बहुत सारे कॉमन नेम्स होते हैं, जैसे कि मीथेन के लिए मार्श गैस, एसिटिक एसिड के लिए आपका विनेगर। सो आपको इन सब के नेम्स भी याद रखने हैं अपने साथ, क्योंकि ये भी बहुत ऐसे क्वेश्चन हैं जो कि जीपैट से और नाइपर में पूछे जा सकते हैं बिल्कुल लाइन टू लाइन, और ये आपको डायरेक्ट 4 मार्क्स दे के जा सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर आपको इसके बारे में नॉलेज होगी तभी आपको मिलेगा, अदरवाइज you will lose that 4 marks. So just try to uh, recognize that, learn that concepts. General nomenclature of bicyclic compound uses bracket system, comma system, dot system, or slash system. So for bicyclic compound, for these 3 questions, I will explain you the concept of bicyclic and spiral compounds. That is also another favorite topic of GPAT examiner. They will put one question in the question paper always. If you are solving question paper, you can also find this type of bicyclospiral types question in your uh, question paper, in your previous question paper. So firstly we will see how to name bicyclo compound. That is very simple. Let's take one example, simple example like this. So this is called as bridge head. ये इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन होते हैं। आपको क्या करना है, रिंग 1 में कितने कार्बन है, रिंग 2 में कितने कार्बन है, जस्ट आपको काउंट करना है। सो हेयर 1 2 इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन पे 0 कार्बन, कोई कार्बन नहीं, इन कार्बन को हम लोग नहीं ऐड करते हैं, कभी भी हम लोग पॉइंट वाले कार्बन को नहीं ऐड करते हैं, ये एकदम याद रखिएगा। देन यू हैव टू राइट जस्ट बाईसाइक्लो, देन आपको यहाँ पे डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में चलना है। ओके, So here in this case 1.1.0 नंबर ऑफ कार्बन आपको दिखाने हैं कि रिंग वन में कितने कार्बन है वन, रिंग टू में कितने कार्बन है वन, इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन पे एक भी कार्बन नहीं है तो यू हैव टू शो जीरो फॉर दैट and then total number of carbon in this structure is 4, so butane. Let's take another example for that, like in case of this compound. Okay, so here in this structure 1 2 1 2 and 1 carbon is there, so we will have to write bicycle for that. That's 2 dot 2 dot 1, and total number of carbon is 2 to 6 plus 1 5 and 2 7 and heptane. Okay, this is the right answer. And also this name to bicyclo 221 heptane is also named as non-formine. Also an important concept and another important question for many competitive exams. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Now for the naming of spiro compound. Spiro compound is like this. Okay, here the point of contact or ring is fused with only one carbon atom. So here you will have to add spiro as a prefix and then just count the carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. But you have to proceed in descending order. Oh, sorry.